All right, greetings everybody, and welcome to week number 3. That is right, week number 3 of your 9449 class, which is your business reference class. As always, I'm your professor, Dr. J.S.K. Austin, and what we are going to do today, hopefully this check-in video will be 30 minutes or less unsped. We will see, but of course also you can speed it up, and you probably should. But what we are going to do today is a quick state of the course update, and then after that we are going to review our emergent worksheet, and then after that there will be a little more content. So let's first of all just get into it. Boom, we are going to click out of these guys here and see what is on the horizon. So for your state of the course update and what is coming up, we are going to be focused on industry research in week number 3. So week number 3, industry research, you're going to have a IBIS World worksheet, and IBIS World is it's a remarkable database, and one of the databases that I really like, and this is a industry database. So you can watch some tutorials about IBIS World. You can get in there, play around with it, learn IBIS World a little bit, read that textbook, those sorts of things, and get your feet wet with IBIS World. I think you all will enjoy IBIS World. Also, the interface with IBIS World is a lot more lively. So the thing about Emergent is that it's depressing. Like if you looked at Emergent, it was like dry looking, and there's no images, and there's not a lot of color, and blah blah blah. Well, IBIS World isn't quite as depressing to look at, so hopefully you all will get in there and you all will enjoy looking at IBIS World. Then you have week 3, talking about industry research. You will have a discussion board prompt related to week 3 and related to industry research. Now, as far as what's coming on the horizon that is not related to, or things that are coming on the horizon that are not discussion board prompts or worksheets, we do have something going on, but thankfully it's not this week. But if you go into the assignments tab, what you will see is that you will next week, so a week from this coming Sunday, April the 13th, you will have your reaction to a BizLib listserv problem or a stumper in your textbook. So again, if you go into this, in your textbook, there are multiple stumpers, which are questions that were very hard to answer and required some collaboration between librarians and probably some looking at listservs and that sort of thing in order to try to figure out, okay, how do I answer this question? Because this question is a doozy, okay? Those are your stumpers. And so you can find stumpers on the BizLib listserv, including in their archives if you access those, or you can also find them in your book. So whichever way you find them, that is perfectly fine, but find one and make sure that it is not one that your classmate is doing. So before you post yours up, look at the ones that your classmates have already done and make sure that you are not doing one that your classmates have done. If you see that your classmate has done the one that you want to do, quite frankly, the early bird gets the worm and you need to find a different one, okay? But that is the, again, that's going to be due on the 13th, so a week from this coming Sunday. And that is the only thing for right now that is not a discussion board prompt or a worksheet that you have to concern yourself with. All right. Let's scroll down here and we're going to go down to week number 3, and that is going to be boom, right there. So with industry research, just looking at some of the things here, this video, I know you all have already been introduced to NAICS codes through Business Source Complete and also through Emergent, but IBIS World is when you really learn how the NAICS codes work and you really start to use them. So you have this really short video here. It's only 5 minutes long, but it's going to introduce you to the concept of the NAICS codes and what they mean and so forth and so on. But I would also say that this is optional because it's 55 minutes long. But if you really want to get into how to do your NAICS codes and that sort of thing, this 55-minute long workshop here can really go a long way for you. So if you can make the time for it, and if you want to be a business librarian, by all means, check out that video as well. Other things, there is this financial ratios video, and you all dealt with financial ratios a little bit with Emergent, but that's something else that can really, I didn't want to do that. Sorry about that. I actually started the video. Really what I was trying to do was trying to pull it up so you could see how long it was. Again, this is an optional resource. It's 24 minutes long. And I had a financial ratios video that was better than this one, but that one got taken down, so I had to replace it. So this is a newer one. But yes, so you got that. Going back up to the required resources, there are going to be, actually, let me just go up here. Students will learn the importance of understanding industry research and being able to understand when a question is a industry research question. Students should become better familiar with what resources to consult when addressing industry research questions, and students should also gain an understanding about NAICS codes and SIC codes and their importance to industry research. Now, I never even really used SIC codes, but NAICS codes, I was using them constantly when I was a business librarian, okay? So have those in your toolkit. We do have some things, trade associations for industry research in the public library's briefcase, and also supporting the pedagogical needs of faculty teaching undergraduate business students at Kansas State University. So that's a helpful one there. And then I do want you all to look at the Library of Congress Industry Research Guide. Got a little something there with a PDF and the module, and then this will be required as well. You've got two lectures from Chris LeBeau. You've got chapter 9 in the textbook, and then this video is less than 15 minutes, so it's not bad, and that's also going to be required, okay? So I hope you all are seeing that really, if you've taken a class like with me before, then the work here is not like when you take, for those of you who took my reference class in an 8-week summer session, and I know some of you all did that, yes, I was giving you 2 weeks worth of work every week during the summer. That's not what this 8-week class is. This 8-week class is a little bit more than your typical 1 week of work for a 15-week class, but it's not like you're getting 2 weeks worth of work in 1 week. It is totally not that. So please know that I'm keeping this manageable for you all, okay? All right, so that's what we've got again on the horizon this week. So your industry research is important, and you all will dive in, and I know you will be super, super great at that. Let's go ahead and review the Mergent worksheet, and I will admit that you all even taught Dr. J something on this Mergent worksheet, so we will get into that in just a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this this Mergent worksheet. And I am going to go ahead and first of all, hopefully find it. Where is it? All right, come on, baby. Let me pause while I'm looking for it. Oh, there it is. Okay, I don't need to pause. All right, so we are going to show you the right answers. I'm going to show you how to get to the right answers, but also I am going to admit that one of your classmates showed me something that I did not know as far as what something meant in this database. And so I would have gotten this question wrong because your classmate actually showed me how to get it right. And so because most of you technically got this question wrong, just like I would have gotten the question wrong, you're not losing points for having gotten the question wrong, okay? So let's go ahead and get in here. All right, first of all, who is listed as the current president of Revlon, and how old is this person? First of all, my people, read the entire question. It does say, how old is this person? And so many of you, a lot of you, and by a lot, I don't mean a lot, but more than I was expecting, probably like 5 or 6 of you did not include the age. You only gave me the name. So and actually one of your classmates also put something in the discussion board about this, so I accepted either age. But if you go to Revlon, and again, our first question is, who is listed as the current president? Who is listed? And it does turn out that the person who is listed is no longer the president, but who is listed as the current president is Deborah Perelman. And her age is right here, and her reported salary is right here, okay? So Deborah Perelman, and 49 years old. Now, there is somewhere else in the database where you could have gotten 51 years old, so I accepted both. And then this is how you get to it. You simply put in Revlon and company details. It is right there at key executives when you go into company details. Now, if you go to executives over here, all right. Okay, sorry. So that is where you get that discrepancy there. So if you go down here, you will see that she is listed as 51. and her total compensation, which I think that total compensation can mean something different from salary. Don't quote me on that though. But I do believe that the discrepancy between total compensation and salary does make sense, whereas the discrepancy in age really does not. But she is also apparently now no longer the president of Revlon. So there is that. Excuse me. Next question. All right, and so our next question is where Dr. Jace got schooled. I had 3 of you answer a certain way, and I was just like, okay, why are y'all answering that way? And then the majority of the class answered the way Dr. Jace would have answered. And then I found out that the people who answered the question, those 3 people that answered the question the other way, were actually the people who were right. So kudos to you all for teaching the instructor. That is always welcome. And a good instructor should be humble enough to admit that. So the next question was, what is Revlon's listed ROA, return on assets, for the end of 2020, and how did you find this information? So return on assets is actually, let's see if we can just go home here. Pause. Okay, so we're back home and we're going to put in that REB again for Revlon. And when we pull this up, return on assets, ROA, is a ratio. So what we are going to try to do is find our ratios. So where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Company financials. And then we can go to ratios here. And as you can see, I said the end of 2020. So the end of 2020 would be December the 31st, 2020. And what you have here is the 22.41, however. All right, and this is something, oh, hold on for a second. Wow, sorry. So, however, and this is something that I did not know, and I couldn't even find an emergence help feature, so I am glad that we have students in here who do have business and accounting backgrounds, which Dr. Jace does not, and most business librarians do not. So these are things that I would have probably had to have picked up from, if I were still a business librarian. I probably wouldn't know this unless I picked it up from one of the business faculty members who was telling me, hey, well, this means this. But yes, so, yes, the answer to this one, you have this here. However, the parentheses do mean, and I didn't know this, but thankfully there were people in the class who just knew this from their previous experience. I thought the answer was 22.41. And so that's what I was accepting. However, I had one of your classmates tell me that if you see the number in parentheses, then that means that the number is negative. And I did not know that. And I was like, huh. And then I saw like 3 of you actually had negative 22.41. So I was like, okay, why do people keep putting that up there? And I'm ashamed that I didn't know this because I am a former business librarian. But yes, it does turn out. I was reading around, and multiple sources did in fact indicate that when you see these parentheses, that does indicate a negative number. So the real answer is negative 22.41. However, if you put 22.41, I did not count off. But for those of you who really got it right with the negative 22.41, kudos to y'all for knowing your stuff. I am proud to have you all in this class because you have taught me something and that I want to continue learning as well. So kudos to you all for schooling Dr. Jace. I appreciate it and I am humbled. All right, so moving on to question number 3. And question number 3 was, which of Revlon's listed competitors, according to Mergent, has the highest revenue, and how did you find this information? So if it's asking about competitors, then you do want to go to the competitors tab usually. So we're going to go to the competitors tab. Actually, I'm going to pause while that's being slow. All right, and when you go into this competitors tab, it actually does default on revenues going from highest to lowest. So you will see Procter & Gamble Company as the highest. That is the answer that you all should have gotten. And again, getting the information is just as simple as going to the competitors tab because this is the default. However, yes, if I were to really be hard on you and try to make you try to learn a whole bunch of other things, I could have been like, well, what is which of Revlon's listed competitors, according to Mergent, lists the highest net income? Then I could come over here. That should be the lowest because these are, again, negative numbers. And again, thank you all for teaching me that. Love it. All right, so let's put this back. highest. That's also going to be Procter & Gamble, so I apologize for that. Let's see if total assets might bring us something different. No, that's bringing us Procter & Gamble too. All right, let's say that I was just like, so which one has the most employees? Procter & Gamble. Okay. Well, I give up at this point. So yes, Procter & Gamble was the answer to question number 3 there. Question number 4, and I apologize, but I accepted the answer. So for those of you who worked ahead, and I think that I have taken care of this to the point where it's not going to happen again. However, if it does happen again, let me know. So there was a glitch with Canvas when I was updating these questions, as far as usually when you update and hit save, or it used to be that if you would update and hit save, it would just save the updated thing. But some of you ended up doing the worksheet before I updated it because it didn't auto-save. So the real question I wanted to ask you was, what tab would you look under to access Revlon's 10K? Some of you got the question for 8K. If that was for you, I apologize and I accepted whatever answer you gave me. But for the 10K, that was the better question to ask, and I apologize to you all who took the quiz before, or took the worksheet before I was able to actually save and force save the updates. So if you want to know where to get the 10K, a 10K is a form of annual report. So you can come here and you will see 10K or equivalent for 2022. It's pretty out of date. Hopefully they'll get newer 10Ks for Revlon soon, okay? But there you go. You've got 10Ks 2021, 2020, so forth and so on, all right? So that's how you find your 10K. You go to annual reports, all right? That is the tab you're looking at. And then finally, for Kraft Heinz, how many employers are listed and as of what date? Again, hopefully they will update things here in Mergent, because I am seeing that things are looking a little wonky and a little out of date. But if I put in Kraft Heinz, that information is actually banner information. So you can go up here. All right, I'm going to pause it since it's taking a long time. Okay, and that took way longer than it should have, but here it is, our banner information, and our banner information just show that as of the end of 2022, so December 31st, 2022, they had approximately 37,000 full-time employees. The Kraft Heinz company did, okay? So that is your answer for that. Again, 37,000 approximately full-time as of December 2022. All right, and that is the end of your quiz. Now, I will say that I make these worksheets like only 4 to 5 questions, because I want you all to just kind of get through these worksheets because you have other work to do. If this were a 15-week course, you would have longer worksheets, just to be honest with you, but you would also have less content each week. But yes, so I say that to say that the worksheets are, excuse me, the worksheets are bare bones as far as getting you some familiarity with the database so you can get in it, see what some of the features are, see what it looks like, blah, 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 blah. But if you really want to get good at using these databases, you can't just rely on the worksheets. You are indeed going to have to kind of explore and kind of just go into them, look at tutorials and that sort of thing if you want to be good. But I definitely want you all to have a basic understanding of what's in these databases, which type of research you would use them for, so forth and so on. So yes, Mergent is more so of a company research database, whereas IBISWorld is more so industry, Mintel is more so market, etc., etc. Okay, so that's the type of familiarity you want to have. But again, it would not hurt you to look at some tutorials or to play around in the database yourself a little bit more. All right. I don't know. Let me go back into the class and see if there's anything else I want to bring up. Pause. All right, nope, now that I'm back in the class, I do see that there's not anything else that we need to bring up. And again, I know you all have a lot of work to do this week, so let's leave this under 20 minutes, which is something that Dr. Jace does not do very often. So yes, don't look this gift horse in the mouth. I am Dr. Jace, and if I don't humble myself and be willing to learn from you all, which I did this week, about the numbers in parentheses being negative, if I'm not willing to learn from you all, then that is such a waste, because you all are so brilliant. Jace waste, I got my rhyme in, and now I can go watch a little TV before bed. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. You all take care. I will see you in the discussion boards. Love you guys. Keep it going. Keep it going. You all are doing phenomenal. Keep it going. See you later.